Coming up, the national flag carrier taking precautionary measures for the protection of its passengers against the coronavirus. Also, a local charter company already seeing a decline in business due to COVID-19.
A Center for Hope, Community Wellness, and Mental Health Support officially opened in the Grand Bahama community. I'm Megan Shepard. Those details straight ahead.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Wilparkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news tonight, the Braemar cruise ship carrying 5 persons who have tested positive for the COVID-19 coronavirus will not be permitted to dock in the Bahamas, and passengers and crew will not be allowed to disembark. This, according to a press release issued by the Ministry of Transport. The statement reads, "This decision is based on consideration for the protection of the health and safety of the Bahamian people and residents of the Bahamas. The Bahamas Maritime Authority has been in constant communication with the owners, which is a Bahamas flagship. The BMA has reaffirmed to the Braemar that should it arrive in Bahamian waters, the Bahamas will do all that it can to provide humanitarian assistance. Now, this may include providing fuel, food, water, and other supplies as needed by the vessel. The BMA continues to monitor the well-being of passengers and crew with updates at regular intervals." The statement concludes by saying, "Our thoughts and prayers continue to be with the people who have contracted the coronavirus and who are at immediate risk." In other news, the national flag carrier taking precautionary measures in an effort to safeguard staff and passengers against the deadly COVID-19 virus. Bahamas Air issuing a statement amidst fears that the coronavirus could reach the Bahamas, outlining steps the airline is taking on a daily basis to ensure its aircraft are thoroughly cleaned and sanitized. Italia Hall has more. Bahamas Air officials say the airline is committed to preserving the health and safety of both passengers and staff by working closely with the Ministry of Health. As a part of the airline's daily routine, all aircraft are thoroughly cleaned and sanitized in accordance with global travel industry best practices. The airline is applying disinfectants that is effective against the coronavirus across aircraft interiors, including the places travelers touch most, the tray tables, seat covers, armrests, and seat belts. Additionally, flight crew have been appraised with updated travel industry practices in relation to the handling of potentially sick passengers. To date, Bahamas Air continues to operate their regular flight schedule and have not received information of any travel advisory from any of the international authorities at the various destinations that they fly to. The airline also noting that they will waive change fees across all fare types to all destinations they service until May 31st, 2020. In accordance with the airline's fare rules policy, the new travel date will have to take place within a year of the original ticket issue date. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News. Well, meantime, a local charter and tour company on Grand Bahama is feeling the pinch already as the rising threat of the deadly COVID-19 coronavirus continues to grow around the world. However, the company is doing its part to not only ensure the safety of its employees, but also visitors on the island. Jamila Mizik picked up that story.
Fear surrounding COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus, continues to shake up the tourism industry worldwide, and here on Grand Bahama, it's no different. One of the island's leading tour operators, H. Forbes Charter and Tours Limited, is also feeling the impact. Owner Hedley Forbes says, since the announcement of the deadly virus, there has been a decline in business.
We had a lot of cancellation and still cancellation. In fact, just this morning, one of our suppliers says they had 2,000 plus people to be coming on their ship, their next sail, and they get a cancellation of 700 just this morning. This is the first time in 52 years I've been in business I see such a drastic change, like overnight. things come to where it is today.
Forbes says he believes the virus will affect economies around the world and it is not good for business. However, he says now is not the time to panic or give up hope.
Tourism is our number one industry. We can think about panicking by saying this one can't come, the other one can't come, and the next one can't come, and we are not in that position to pick and choose. But we must take the precaution that the authorities put in place to protect ourselves and by extension protect our guests.
Forbes says they continue to pay close attention to reports and know that since they work in a touristic environment, it can happen at any time. However, he says they are taking the necessary precautions to ensure the safety of staff as well as guests.
Every time we pick up a guest and deliver that passenger to his destination, we re-clean the bus again before we put new passengers in the bus. Every bus has a kit with everything in it for them to minister this to the seats and the floor of the bus.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Jamila. Well, in other news, it's been just over 6 months since the passing of monster storm Hurricane Dorian. While many residents are making progress in rebuilding their lives, some will have to deal with mental health issues for a long term. To this end, a group of organizations have come together to open a community center that will cater to the well-being of residents both emotionally and mentally. Megan Shepard reports.
The Grand Bahama Resilience Center, officially opened as a safe space for persons to seek support in a welcoming center. Program Manager Amy Lyon says that the idea came about after countless discussions between local residents, Caritas, the Ministry of Health, NEMA, and various other organizations. The center aims to support residents and reconnect a fragmented community and restore a sense of social cohesion.
The center is focused on helping people adapt to change and stressful events in healthy ways and offer opportunities to increase knowledge and skills. The space will serve as an entry point for more specialized services if needed, promote normalization of trauma reactions, and offer a holistic approach to recovery and resilience. Also empowering community members in identifying what types of activities could best meet their needs. This will happen through a variety of activities supported by local volunteers, partners, and other organizations.
She says they also plan to add recreational activities,
such as movie night, family game night, arts and crafts, trivia, as well as other services such as life coaching, mentoring, peer and support groups, and individual counseling sessions. We recognize the stigma often associated with the term mental health and hope that the Resilience Center provides a safe space to begin talking about personal experiences, stress, and dealing with the many changes families have had over the past 6 months.
Now, Deputy Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, the Honourable K. Peter Turnquest, noting that persons are indeed still suffering mentally and emotionally due to the events of Hurricane Dorian. He encouraged residents to take advantage of the free services here at the centre.
Whether we have family or friends in our lives, the reality is that after a major disaster that touches the entire community, it is often difficult for people to reach out, to ask for help, to access the resources they need to support their overall healing. As the world and the community seemingly moves on unaffected, the overwhelming memories and emotional pain can sometimes intensify as you feel left behind. This innovative community partnership is therefore so important to help individuals reduce mental distress and enhance and promote psychological well-being among our entire community. Through the provision of education, wellness, therapeutic services, and opportunities for connection to individuals, families, and communities as a whole, the Grand Bahama Resilience Center We'll strive to empower people towards seeking help.
President of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Ian Roll, also on hand for the grand opening. He says that this healing center could not have come at a better time.
The programs that will be offered here, including life coaching and peer support, even yoga, could not come at a more needed time. The message that this sends is one of hope and optimism. It says that there are people and groups that are willing to invest as we continue with our restoration and rebuilding efforts.
Now, Lions notes that there will be a complement of 5 here at the center. Persons are free to make appointments or feel free to walk in. For ZNS Network News, I'm Megan Shepard.
Switching gears now, the Insurance Commission Board releasing a press statement in response to local attorneys Baron Duncanson's claim that the regulatory body was of no assistance when he contacted them regarding interim payments for his clients 6 months post-Dorian. The statement reads, the Insurance Commission is part of a regulatory function that oversees the market conduct of its licensees, adding that the protection of the policyholder is of paramount concern. The statement goes on to say that the Insurance Commission requires all registered insurance companies to have an internal complaints process. The process gives the policyholder or beneficiary an opportunity to file a complaint if they are not satisfied with their claim settlement. It also gives the insurance company an opportunity to reconsider and resolve the issue. The statement says if the complaint is unable to be resolved in favor of the policyholder or beneficiary, the company should then give the complaint in its final position in writing. The statement reads, from the Insurance Commission wraps up, it says that the policyholder has a right to seek recourse through the courts. Once the matter is placed before the courts, the Commission's alternate dispute resolution methods are suspended. Meantime, lawsuits have been filed against insurance companies J.S. Johnson and Royal Star Assurance in Freeport over their alleged failure to make proper payment for insurance claims filed over property damage associated with Hurricane Dorian. That matter will be heard in the Supreme Court tomorrow. And when we come back, the Royal Bahamas Police Force celebrating Police Month with a number of activities. This story and a whole lot more when we return.